Hey there, apocalypse preppers and doomsday enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the nitty-gritty of how to survive the first 72 hours after the world decides to take a permanent vacation. Imagine this: civilization's gone belly up. Your smartphone's nothing more than an expensive paperweight, and Amazon Prime is deader than your neighbor's hopes and dreams. Speaking of neighbors, they're either looting everything in sight or becoming the main ingredient in someone's post-apocalyptic stew. So, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to explore what you need to do when the lights go out and stay out. This isn't just about having a bad day, it's about not turning into a feral ghoul who couldn't hack it in the wasteland. Stick around and smash that subscribe button before society smashes you, because the next few minutes might be the difference between thriving in the apocalypse and becoming canned food for the zombie horde. First things first, stop screaming. I know it's tempting to lose your mind when everything goes to hell in a handbasket. But here's the deal. When the collapse hits and people start running around like headless chickens, your job is to keep it together. Don't cry, don't panic, and for the love of all that's holy, don't join the stampede to Walmart for the last bag of Doritos. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to take a deep breath, get your head on straight, and accept one simple truth. No one's coming to save your sorry behind. So what do you need? Let's start with the basics. A backpack, go bag, or whatever you want to call it. Throw in a knife because stabby things are always useful. A water bottle. Hydration is key, even in the apocalypse. And the mental fortitude to look at the chaos around you and say, cool, guess I live here now. It's all about adapting, folks. Now, let's talk tutorial time. Grab any bag you can find. Your old school backpack, that fancy hiking pack you never use, or even that reusable grocery bag with the weird stain. Fill it with water. Duh, food, non-perishables are your new best friends. A lighter, fire is life, and a first aid kit. No kit, no problem. Raid your bathroom cabinet like it's Black Friday. Bandages, alcohol, meds, that stuff is worth its weight in gold when society crumbles. Oh, and don't forget the duct tape. Seriously, duct tape is the Swiss Army knife of the post-apocalyptic world. It fixes tears, seals wounds, and can even make a passable shelter if you're creative enough. In these first crucial hours, remember, you're not just surviving the environment, you're surviving other people who've lost their marbles. Now let's talk shelter. Your cozy apartment might seem like the perfect fortress, but what if it's not safe? Be ready to bug out at a moment's notice. Look for places that are off the beaten path, abandoned buildings, secluded areas and parks, or that weird uncle's bunker he's been talking about for years. The key is to stay hidden and stay quiet. Think of it like playing the world's most intense game of hide and seek, where the seekers might eat you if they find you. Water is next on our survival hit list. You can go weeks without food, but only days without water. And no, your stockpile of energy drinks doesn't count. Look for natural sources like streams or rivers, but remember, Mother Nature's not always your friend. Boil that water like your life depends on it, because, well, it does. No pot? Use a plastic bottle and some hot rocks. It's like prehistoric chemistry class, but with higher stakes. Speaking of food, forget your fancy diet. In the apocalypse, calories are king. Those cans of Spam you've been using as doorstops, they're gourmet meals now. Learn to love preservatives because fresh produce is a luxury of the past. And for the love of all that's holy, learn to identify edible plants. But maybe practice before the world ends because, oops, that wasn't edible is a terrible last thought. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, other people. In the first 72 hours, people are going to be scared, desperate, and potentially dangerous. Your best bet? Avoid them like they're carrying the zombie virus. If you must interact, be cautious. Remember, in the apocalypse, trust is a luxury and paranoia is a survival skill. But what if you're not alone? Maybe you've got family or friends with you. Congratulations, you've just become the leader of your own post-apocalyptic tribe. Assign roles, share resources, and for goodness sake, establish some ground rules. Nothing says we're doomed like infighting over the last Twinkie. Let's not forget about hygiene. Yes, even in the apocalypse, you need to stay clean. Diseases love nothing more than unwashed survivors. Use that precious water to keep yourself somewhat presentable. Think of it as preparing for a really intense job interview where the job is staying alive. Communication is a key, even when cell towers are down and the internet is a distant memory. Consider investing in a hand crank radio or some walkie-talkies. Information is power, and in the early days of societal collapse, knowing what's going on could save your life. Plus, it's nice to know if the apocalypse is just in your neighborhood or if it's a global everyone's invited kind of party. Now, let's talk about skills. In the first 72 hours, you might not have time to become a master survivalist, but you can certainly channel your inner MacGyver. Learn to tie a few basic knots, practice starting a fire without matches, and for Pete's sake, figure out how to open a can without a can opener. Your future self will thank you when you're not trying to smash open a can of beans with a rock like a caveman. As we wrap up this crash course in apocalypse survival, remember, the first 72 hours are all about adapting. Your world has changed, and you need to change with it. Be flexible, be resourceful, and most importantly, be smart. The skills that got you through life before, like being able to order pizza at 3 a.m. or navigate social media drama, aren't going to cut it anymore. So there you have it, folks. Your guide to surviving the first 72 hours after the world decides to call it quits. Remember, in the apocalypse, it's not about being the strongest or the fastest. It's about being the most adaptable. And hey, if all else fails, you can always hope that this was just an elaborate prank and society will reboot after a good laugh. But until then, stay alert, stay prepared, and maybe start practicing your I survived the apocalypse victory dance. You never know when you might need it.